Talking about the explosion in college women's wrestling and that being driven in some part by saving men's wrestling, how have you seen that impact on high school wrestling, and what have been some of the challenges between the explosion in the college scene and what high school wrestling looks like?
Just like college, the numbers in high school wrestling are huge. And I think that's due to having had these opportunities for college. Like, it's pretty apparent to any high school girl wrestler that they can continue this on in college if they want to. And I think that has a lot to do with why the numbers are huge now.
It's been consistently shown that anytime opportunities are created, girls and women show up. So, when I was in high school, there were no, like, ISGWAs was the year I graduated high school. That was the first national level tournament for girls. And when I wrestled in college, you had to wrestle at the senior level. My first company, I was still in high school, and I know Toccara was still in high school when she was wrestling at senior level things, because that's all there was, right? And the only half of my college schedule, like Toccara said, was up in Canada against girls my own age. Almost all of the competition here in the States was from people at the senior level. And then it started with opportunities just for competitions, and then opportunities for college, just to know that there were places that you could compete. Girls showed up to try it out. And they kept doing it so much over like a decade before it could start being discussions about sanctioning could even happen, sanctioning for NCAA and then high school sanctioning. And so now we reached a level where you couldn't ignore the numbers anymore, and you couldn't ignore that, like, there's a system in place of opportunities that people are already doing. And it's hard not to sanction at this point.
I like the shift that has occurred. Just in, like Randy said, within the last year, like, there has been so many. It was an announcement that this state had sanctioned it for high school girls to wrestle, and then this state, and it just kept going. And I think about, we talked about the shift like when we came out, and it was there. But every time, I would tell someone like, "Oh yeah, I wrestled," and it would always be like, "Oh, I didn't know girls wrestled. I didn't know women wrestled," followed by some inappropriate comment. And now, a colleague of mine, I'm at work, a colleague of mine, I talked to her, and she was like, I didn't know women wrestled. She said, "I didn't know you wrestled." And I was like, "Yeah, I wrestled," and kind of gave her like a very generic breakdown of my wrestling career. And then she said, "That's so exciting because my daughter just started wrestling." And like, that has never happened. That shift from like, I didn't know women wrestled, followed by ridiculousness, to my daughter wrestles now, like, that was so heartwarming to me. And that has happened, and it continues to happen more and more. And that shift, just to see how far the sport has grown, especially on the high school level, is phenomenal.